seafarers away from families and loved ones for months on end, yearning for a home away from home. In the ports of Seattle, they are welcomed with open arms by the Seafarers Ministry. Just like their logo, an angel flying over an endless sea. This ecumenical ministry, a partnership between the Archdiocese of Seattle, the Episcopal Church, and the Lutheran Church, seeks to care for maritime workers from around the world.
Being there for them, listening to their needs, whatever it may be, whether physical or mental or spiritual.
Joey De Leon has been a deacon for the Archdiocese of Seattle for more than 10 years. He now serves as the interim executive director for the Seattle Seafarers Center. As a deacon, he's able to perform religious services, such as offering communion and other sacraments to crews.
They ask for if they can avail of communion, receiving the Holy Eucharist. So I come on board with the Holy Eucharist and provide them communion, or just being there for them, listening to their plight as a seafarer while they're at sea.
He says a favorite memory of his was when a captain requested Mass on board the ship.
He just saw how happy his crew was, which were mostly Filipinos, and he finally made a statement saying, "If I can only find my crew this happy because of the services that you provide in the Mass, then I will have Mass in all the ships that I'm in." Okay, we're ready.
The Seafarers Ministry boards ships, engages in pastoral listening, shares a meal in the galley, and sells SIM cards for their cell phones so they can connect with loved ones. It also provides transportation to shopping destinations for the seafarers who are able to go on shore leave. The Seafarers Center serves as a safe haven at port. Seafarers can use the center for recreation, rest, and prayer in the Interfaith Chapel. They also gain access to donated clothes and other goods. About 30 to 40 ships on average come by the ports of Seattle every month. And what the Seafarers Ministry's goal is to come on board and keep the seafarers happy.
We provide a lot of awesome stuff, right? Like people can come to the center, we give them our little gifts every Christmas, we bring SIM cards and magazines for them, but the coolest part about our ministry is the fact that what we really give is like kind of the gift of like our presence. Jack Ibsen, who started as a volunteer with a mission several years ago, says he enjoys getting to know sailors and hearing their stories. He remembers when a group of maritime workers from India were overjoyed to be in the company of fellow Catholics. They were just saying like, hey, we're all from the same like town in India, and it's a very Catholic town, and we just don't get a lot of rosaries where we live. You know, they just felt very blessed to like have someone come on board who could kind of like, meet them in that way, to share in that spiritual connection that they otherwise felt like they didn't have in other ports. So we definitely get those opportunities, and I really appreciate them. Being a seafarer is no easy feat. According to a 2019 research by the Institution of Occupational Safety and Health, seafarers are prone to anxiety, depression, emotional exhaustion, and burnout. These maritime workers who live and work on container ships, cruise ships, and bulk carriers work an average of 80 hours a week to bring the public necessary goods. And yet, they remain fairly invisible.
About 90% of all goods that we consume are brought over on container ships. People make immense personal sacrifices so that we can have our Christmases. So we like to give back and give seafarers a happy Christmas as well.
That includes gifting each seafarer with a ditty bag. With the help of the local community, the ditty bag is filled with all sorts of necessities and treats, such as knitted beanies and chocolate bars.
We give them to seafarers so that they feel appreciated and cared for, because it's very difficult to be away from your family during the holiday season. So it's just a little something to say thank you for all that you do.
Captain Subhash Anshin has spent decades of his life at sea. He says his crew was often ecstatic to see people from the Seafarers Center during their port visit.
it's always nice to see people from, other than the 20 people on board. You know, when you go to any port, you meet some nice people, and it always brings a cheer into them. You know, they're all very happy actually.
Serving about 20,000 seafarers that come by the ports of Seattle each year, Deacon Joey says the ultimate mission is to elevate the dignity of the seafarers, one ship at a time, with this message.
That they're loved by God, that there's always a center here in Seattle to support and assist them in whatever they need.
Roselle Reyes, EWTN News In Depth.
To learn how you can donate or volunteer for the Seattle Seafarers Center, visit their website at www.mts-seattle.org.